right, Jai Gauranga Prabhu, Anandavadan Prabhu. And Dandavat, your microphone is off.
Muted. Dandavat, Maharaj.
Dandavat.
Nice to see your smiling face.
Nice to see your smiling face in full daylight. Just see, on a beautiful morning in New Zealand, right?
It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Maharaj.
Oh, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My goodness.
Yeah, and it is a beautiful day. It's a nice spring day.
All right. That gives us some hope that your spring day will come to us. Here it's 4 o'clock in the morning. With you it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Just see.
11 hours because we're on daylight saving now.
Okay, you're saving some daylight.
Yeah.
Rupanuga Prabhu, looking very handsome.
It's 1 p.m. here.
And Rupanuga Prabhu is in UK, or in New South Wales at least, because he can't cross the Queensland anymore because of the COVID.
I'm in Byron Bay right now.
Are you in Byron Bay? Okay. Tell the sharks Hare Krishna before they eat somebody. Or Sharirara Vidyajal. Mercy of the Lord, their food is coming. All right, and Govinda Nandini Devidasi, good to have you with us. And Shakira from South Africa, welcome, welcome back. And also to Charu Didi, and I'm sure Jai Kumar is there somewhere nearby. If he's not treating patients, her husband is Jai Kumar Prabhu, he's a doctor and looking after people's bodies, but nobody escapes without hearing something about Krishna. He's looking after their souls as well as their bodies. We can remember Srila Prabhupada, his business failed because he gave so much attention to preaching rather than for his business. But Jai Kumar has to take attention for his business, which is looking after their body as well as preaching. Otherwise, his patients will die there in front of him listening to Krishna Katha, which may be a good thing too. And Kumkum Devirasi joined us too. Hare Krishna, good morning. We can't hear you, but you need to click your microphone button. Kumkum. Good afternoon, evening, morning, depending on all parts of the world we are connected. We're representing planet Earth, just see, all over the earth, from New Zealand, Australia, India, South Africa, and Miami, which is another planet, of course, and Washington, and here in Italy, sort of in the middle, 4 a.m. And by chance this morning, I mean, completely by chance, I saw Chintamani, who sometimes joins us. And she's been here on the Zoom programs at different times. She's doing a live broadcast, and it just came up on Instagram because I was joining in with the morning program in Thailand. And I was surprised, really, how effective her presentation of Krishna consciousness is, and chanting the Maha Mantra, appreciation of the masters and all these things. And I mean, not to say I should be surprised, I was expecting anything else, but she's very enthusiastically giving from her heart her life's experience on a public broadcast with various friends and things, as we do. I mean, as you are doing, as all over the world people are doing. People are doing the broadcast, joining together digitally, etc. And she was very lively, enthusiastic, and honest. And I thought, what are the three things that Krishna says? So the speech, what should we speak? We should speak things with three qualities: that it's truthful, that it's beneficial for others, and that it is pleasing to hear. So if we think about, I mean, Krishna says this for a good reason. He's Krishna, he knows what's good for us. But if we can speak within this category, then it must be good. And that kind of a wave coming from the hearts of the sincere seekers and the hearts of those who've got appreciation for the Lord, the scripture, the devotees, then we have to say that this is the purifying wave in the world. And the more people will do this, then the much more the world will be a better place, even though it's Kali Yuga. Anyway, so Chintamani, she may join us in a little while, but she's doing her own program on Instagram from Arizona, where the sun has just gone down, as she found out, because she was doing the broadcast from outside, and then she had to take refuge in her grandparents' house because it got dark. So here we are, we're 5 minutes in, we're 7 minutes in, just see. So whoever's with us is with us, and maybe some more devotees will join in a short time. Praneshwari Didi, yes, I'm looking at the palm of your hand. What does the palm of your hand say?
The palm of my hand is asking permission to make a suggestion, Maharaj.
A suggestion, okay.
Yes. Can we go through the mini Vandana so that Shakira and Charu know our mini Vandana? I'm going to post it on the...
And I see you've got a chat. Oh, Govindanandini. Can't hear you, Shakira. Oh, maybe you can. Shakira, can you speak? Can you? Oh, yeah, we can't. I can't hear you either.
No, we cannot hear you.
Okay, I'm going to do this.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Now we can hear you. Perfect.
Is this any better?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So Charu and Shakira, you have the file in the chat box?
Yes. Thank you.
This was a beautiful idea of Maharaj.
Mini Vandana.
Wow.
Nice. Word for word and translation of Mini Vandana. Yes, happily. Oh, very nicely. You've presented this together for us. And by the way, Vandana, it is our offering of prayers, our offering of glorification. It's not exactly 100% fixed. It's not, this is the marble, the only thing we can say. Again, it should be coming from the heart. Everything coming from the heart. But this is giving our appreciation for Guru, Vaishnava, and Gauranga, and Prapanna Jivan. Oh, I see. You've taken what we did the last couple of times. Okay, so we have here the mini Vandana. So, yes, we haven't officially started, have we? So we should make an official start after giving a little mention about Chintamani, who may join us. But yes, let us then meet together. So first of all, as we meet together, let us welcome Divya Shakti in. She's just arriving. So when Divya Shakti joins her audio, all right, Divya Shakti, David, as you welcome. And now we are, with Divya Shakti's arrival, we're just going to begin officially with our obeisances to each other, first and foremost, and then mini Vandana. All right, so welcome Divya Shakti, Didi, and to everybody. First of all, obeisances to each other. Vancha kalpa turubhyascha, kripa sindubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Just as when we come together, then we will do like that. We'll come together first. Now, in the chat box is the mini Vandana, and basically we mostly know it, but it's we're going to chant Guru, then Vaishnava, then Mahaprabhu, and then two verses, one verse, Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam, then Kale Dosha Nide Rajan, and then the Chatu Shloki, then Panchatattva, and then Hare Krishna. So let us begin in a good way. So, are we ready? We can chant together, but slowly. Together, but slowly. So 3, 2, 1. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Then Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyas Cha Kripa Sindubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvije Namaha. Now, verse from Prapana Jivanamritam. Bhagavat Bhaktita Sarvam Ityutridya Vidher Api Kain Karyang Krishna Padayaka Shrayatvang Sharanagatihi. Then Kaler Dosha Nidhe Rajan Asti Heko Mahangunaha Kirtanad Eva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Parang Vrajet. Now, Chatushloki of Gita. Ahang Sarvasya Prabhavo Matta Sarvang Pravatate Iti Matva Bhajante Mang Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. Machchita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mang Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Teshang Satata Yuktanang Bhajatang Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogang Tang Yena Mam Upayanti Te. Tesham Evanukampatam Aham Agyana Jantamaha Nashayam Yatma Bhavashto Jnana Deepena Bhashvata. Then Panchatattva Mahamantra and Hare Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai, the deities in California, SoCal Temple, Divya Shakti Did is showing us. Jai Saparika Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandhavika Madana Mohan. Is it correct, Divya Shakti? No, Giridhari.
Giridhari Jew.
Oh, shoot me in the head. while taking the Lord's name, please.
I say hi to Maharaj.
Who is there?
That's Kalindi. Maharaj Dandava.
Oh, Kalindi. Dandava.
And all we hear in the recording, and you gave me so much happiness and mercy to your classes, Maharaj. I love it. But I meet the sunset and the sunrise in Thailand. I love to see the sunrise when we were in Govinda's farm.
Okay, well now we're in Vila Govinda and we love to see the sunrise too. when it does rise.
Dandava, I'm finishing the offering, but I just want to give my Dandava, Maharaj, all my affection.
Okay, and please give Vaidehi a special mention and encouragement. We're always remembering her.
I will, Maharaj. That will mean a lot to her.
She is a natural preacher. Let her make the world Krishna conscious.
Yeah, I'm going to tell her that, Maharaj. Thank you, Dandava, all my affection, Maharaj. Yeah.
Dandava. Hare Krishna. All right. So we've chanted our mini Vandanam and we've had darshan of the deities. And I don't know if any of you heard Goswami Maharaj's class the day before yesterday. Just see the modern world of Chiang Mai, their internet failed. So they couldn't broadcast it live, but it is there now. And there somebody asked about, is it the same having darshan of the deities by like internet and by live? And then Goswami Maharaj, he gave a very nice answer to that. And that everywhere we need to be reminded of Krishna. And so if we can see Krishna, how you think he can't see us? So anyway, lots of things like this, a very beautiful class, of course, a very beautiful class on the Infinity Media channel on YouTube, on maybe Instagram, it is there. Oh, who's behind the mask? Oh, it's a Bimala. Look, oh, we're getting a tour of Sokal Temple. The grace.
Send your blessing to us. We love your classes. We love your affection to Maharaj.
Dandavat to one and all. So we're so happy to have your support there, to know you that you are with us. And Jeevana there also, and Vijay, or everybody. Okay.
That's Chinmoy.
Was that Chinmoy? Oh,
That's
well,
Chinmoy. Who'd you think it was, Vijay?
It's okay. It's the mask. You see, I can't see the soul. I can only see the outside. All right, do take care when you're with devotees. We've got devotees, not here, but there are devotees in the world that have caught COVID. So we have to be, we're not fearful, but we have to be practical. This is the thing.
Yes.
All right. So,
Yes, Maharaj.
Dandavat. All right. So we're happy to be with the devotees. All is good. We've started our program in a good way. And I do have something to say, but I can first ask, is there any question from the devotees? Something that you'd like us to address, or any question? This I'll ask first. You can put up your hand if there's a question. And by the way, I was going to say, when you put your hand like this, like very close, I was going to say, the only person I've shown my hand to is Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj. Because Govinda Maharaj, he knows, he knows what is astrology, what is symptoms and everything. So many people, they think they know, but as with Gurudev's example, a quack doctor and an actually qualified doctor, a qualified doctor is very careful. So the only person I showed, because Gurudev was looking at hands and everything, and they were with him on his old veranda a long time ago in Navadip. Then we showed him, and he didn't say anything. So how gloomy. He knows our karma, what is, because your hand, what is written in your hand, it's a description of our karma. That is what it is, what is there. That's like the astrology chart. It's basically telling what is your karma. You got this coming to you, you got that coming to you. Anyway, as we're putting up hands, I thought I'd just mention that point. And Ananta Krishna Prabhu is coming, is around? Jai Gauranga Prabhu?
I'm not sure, Maharaj. I haven't seen him today.
Okay, okay. Anyway, if he doesn't come, let him know we're remembering him and the other devotees there. Of course, we're remembering the devotees. Happily. Okay, so if no question, I can mention something that
Maharaj.
Yes.
Yes. Could you say something about association, particularly non-devotional association? The reason I ask this is because since Ananta Krishna's lady friends moved in to the house, the whole atmosphere has become really disturbed and mundane. So I'm just wondering if you could, I mean, I know he's not here, but if you could say something about the importance of not having non-devotional association and taking devotional association.
Yes, I'm happy to talk about that. However, when it's between man and woman, when it's between partners, we don't want to make too much.
They're not partners. They're not partners.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not partners. She's an old friend from way back, and she just turned up and moved in. And he's always complaining about the whole situation, but I don't really. It doesn't affect me that much because I'm living outside in a caravan. But I notice the mood, you know.
Yes. Okay, so what I can say is certainly is that I know where you are. I mean, we know your beautiful situation. You're in the countryside, and it's a wonderful opportunity to make a little, sometimes we say oasis, or like a shelter for devotees, to keep it only devotional. Because it is true, sometimes we can have 20 people in the room, but when there's one person who's like analyzing everything, and then, you know, somehow or another with a non-faithful mood, it can dampen the whole room, even though there are 20 devotees. So it does depend on the nature of the person. We're all laghu, we are all light. And if we can give association and at least have others who are maybe not devotees that they know about, but to have them follow the devotional practices of, you know, non-judgmental, appreciating the Vaishnavas, seeing the good quality in others. We want to try to give association. But when somebody just comes and moves in, I think it is a good idea to have a little filter and say, well, actually, who is going to move into our house or our little community? We should try to keep that as, you know, you do need to be a devotee, devotional heart in some manner. Non-devotee association is, we know it is unfavorable. And if we see the actual wording, it's saying non-devotional association. It can actually break our path of devotion. So, you know, our devotion will be impeded in the minimum. And we know that by trying to accommodate, I don't mean in the form of, you know, rooms, etc., but trying to accommodate the mentality of the non-devotee association, then it can be very energy draining for us. And then even if we keep that association, then we start hearing about all the mundane things and these things which only come to disturb our mind and not to give proper nourishment. And as we said before, everything, or as we said at the very beginning, what we say, Krishna has told, should be truthful, beneficial, and pleasing to hear. So beneficial can only mean Krishna consciousness. But every situation has to be dealt with gently. And perhaps before somebody just comes and moves in, we should say, you're welcome to stay for 3 nights or whatever you would like to say. But to actually bring all your things and say, move in, that's another matter. Oh, also, let us give our honor, because the first time we see a sannyasi from Gurudev's lotus mouth, we must give our respect. Shripad Puri Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. I can recognize you behind your mask because of the bright color of your cloth. Oh, now he's disappeared. But Puri Maharaj, I know you're there. I saw you just now. Our obeisances to you. Very happy that you're with us. On Divya Shakti's stream, if you see. Any?
He says Dandavat. Now you can say.
Yeah.
Maharaj.
Dandavat Madhusudan Maharaj. Dandavat.
Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. From myself and all of us, we're very happy to have your radiant form. Really, you look so bright.
Only the cloth.
We're seeing beyond the cloth, Maharaj. The cloth suits you very well, as we've mentioned.
I was trying to keep hidden, but you immediately you can see me.
All right, Maharaj. Pranam, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavas Prarabha
Hare
Maharaj.
Oh, yes, Dandavat. How is Gurudev in his samadhi? You're still doing the seva?
Yes, he's missing you.
Tell him I'm missing him there, but here in Vila Govinda, we also have the beautiful samadhi, Pushpa Samadhi.
Very
So
beautiful.
we do remember your seva there at the samadhi in SoCal. Beautiful.
Krishna Priya and
And
Kalindi. Big
And
say my
Kalindi, yes.
servitors
I do
at the Samadhi.
Kalindi does
the moon
the-
offering and the arti.
Okay, morning.
And I always remember you there. When I see the chairs, I remember that you used to sit down there to meet with all of us at the Samadhi, Maharaj.
Well, I hope others also sit there. It's such a beautiful place.
Yes, and it's more beautiful when you are here with your presence.
Okay, okay. Your English is not very good. You are using the wrong word.
Oh, dear.
Okay. All right, Krishna Priya. Everybody my Dandavat. All right. So, Dandavat.
Wow, beautiful Saturday today with your presence here.
I
Now-
think you need to silence your okay, got it. Dandavat. So anyhow, on this point of association, you see, I mean, it's just our life's experience that any devotee is happy association. New, old, whatever, because the devotee is inside there, and we can talk about Guru, we can talk about Krishna, we can talk about Bhagavad Gita, we can talk about the pastimes of Krishna, stealing the butter and all sorts of things. But with the non-devotees, we're not able to do that. Only with them we need to try to give association, share what we've got, because we have got something, at least we've got some, A of the ABC. We know from their perspective, I mean, really, we are in the kindergarten, but we've got something, and what we have shelter, and we know we have shelter from these great masters and teachers and the Vaishnavas themselves. They're all in some way bringing us Gurudev, bringing us Srila Prabhupada, bringing us Guru Maharaj. They're bringing us Krishna. They're bringing us Mahaprabhu's message. So whatever we've got from there, we want to try to give that to the outside people. But we know that already some mathematics, out of millions of regular people, only some become real karmis, means actually focusing on improving the quality of their lives, this life, the next life, the next life. Only few actually take seriously even the good karma side of life. Out of those, only a few will take to and trying to think, oh, who am I? So, okay, just to get wealth or promotion to the heavenly planets, it's not everything. When Lord Brahma and Lord Indra are telling, oh, we are also temporary, this is not the permanent place, then those that start to think more seriously, where are we? Where should I be? What is the goal? Only a few will start to look at the self inside the bodies. Then some knowledge, some gyan. Out of those, only a few will come to the path of devotion, of bhakti, the positive side. And out of those, only a few will come to Krishna, the Krishna conception. The whole of Vaikuntha is filled up with perfect souls, but not all, and certainly not all, are there in that plane of that spontaneous loving service to Radha Krishna. So these kind of messages are so important. But when we hear like the numbers, then we understand that somebody just, you meet in the street or that comes, knocks on your door and comes in your house, there's a small percentage chance that they are from the street going to be a devotee. and just a friend from school, friend from work, friend from somebody we've met, you know, from many years ago. We know, unfortunately, that, you know, most don't have any appreciation even when we explain it to them about, you know, what we're doing. I remember, I mean, we used to know people before we were devotees, and there was one group of, I was going to say devotees, but not devotees, one group of, you can say, good people. They were, who, you can say, my friends. Actually, I rented a bungalow and then I sublet the other part of the bungalow to some people who were in a little difficulty. And they were vegetarian, they did meditation, they did yoga, all these things. And their friends were all vegetarian. And I was the only monster, I'm sorry to say. I mean, I was the only one who basically wasn't, but they didn't convince me. They didn't really try to, you know, make me vegetarian or anything. But they were all into those things, but I was kind of busy in the world doing different things. And anyway, when I came in touch with Krishna consciousness, and then I went on the Bhakta course in ISKCON, which was very good for me, I have to say. Then after that, then ISKCON, they let you go home after 3 months. You can leave and you can, you know, this way you can, you know, so keep in touch with your friends and family and tell them what you're doing. And I went to that group of former, you know, friends, associates, whatever you want to say, thinking, really, I was thinking, oh, they'll love this. This is what they are looking for. But it was clear that they'd missed the point. They're just kind of doing goody-goody things and without any proper direction. And when I went there, and then only one person had some appreciation, and then the others, they just couldn't get it. They couldn't understand why somebody will, you know, join into this kind of devotional life. They just couldn't get it. And even to the extent of, you know, say, oh, it sounds like brainwashing to me, this, that, and the other. People who you think would understand. So even amongst our old friends, even amongst that section that we think will appreciate what we're doing, or appreciate what our masters are giving, what the Vedas are giving, what Krishna is giving, then very few will understand. So association means to give association to those who don't know, and not that, oh, because they're a friend, oh, now we're going to have them, you know, close by us. So every domestic situation you have to deal with very gently, with respect, with humility. As Gurudev repeatedly said, this verse, Trinadapi Sunichena, this verse, be humble, be tolerant, give honor to others, don't want any honor. That this is the solution, not only for our spiritual life, but Gurudev saying, I have seen that for the material situations, it is the only solution. And Gurudev knew the world. And he had so many challenges in Bengal, in so many things, not only in Bengal, everywhere, but Bengal, a very difficult place. And one day maybe we'll talk about the history of how Dum Dum Park temple came, how the Koikali temple came, how all these things came. He had to deal with very, you can say, you know, mundane elements of the material world in Calcutta. But of course, Gurudev, being Gurudev, you know, he's actually an well, I was going to say illusionist, like a magician. he can call on Krishna to make some illusions here and there, and he would sometimes empower others to do that. One time he told one of our devotees, he said, when there was some devotee who was in trouble, he said, now you go, you make your illusion and bring out that devotee from the police station. This is in Ireland, if you want a little side story. This was in Ireland. And the devotees had come to greet Gurudev when he's arriving at the airport. So what do the Hare Krishna devotees do? They chant Hare Krishna. So they're in the airport chanting with Madanga and cartels, and the police told them to stop. And of course, the devotees, they're very enthusiastic. So maybe they stopped for a short time, but then Gurudev is about to come out, or, then so they're all chanting. So the police arrested the leader who was playing the mridanga and singing loudly. So police arrested him and took him off. When Gurudev came out from the airport, they all greet him, giving him garlands, but then he's outside and they told him, Gurudev, please just be seated here for a little while. We have to arrange another car. And then Gurudev saying, yeah, another car. What happened to the first car? He said, well, the driver got arrested and he's in the police station. And then, but they said, but Gurudev, don't worry, there's a car, it's 5 minutes. We've got another car coming and it'll take you just a moment like that. And then Gurudev said, but my driver, he came to bring me and now he's arrested. No, I won't leave him here. I'll go with him. He's come to do that service. And so he told to Mohanananda Prabhu, one of our dynamic devotees who was very, very instrumental, and all gratitude to him, appreciation for the service that he did to bring Gurudev out from India, all the practical things for those first world tours. It was a big challenge, and he took up that challenge happily. And Gurudev told to Mohanananda, he said to him, so go and do your illusion and bring him out. I'm staying here and I'll get driven by the, who's come to take me. Mohan went in there, empowered by Gurudev, and then he said, so you arrested one of, yes, we've arrested your man. Why did you arrest him? Because they're making so much noise. We told them to stop and they still continue to go on. And so then Mohan, he told to the police, the chief of the policeman, they said, so you arrested him because you want the chanting to stop, right? I said, yes. Okay, so as long as you have him in here, you see all those devotees out there, they're all going to chant louder and louder as long as you've got him in here. So it's in your interest. Just let him go. Then your problem is solved, right? And then policeman, covered by some illusion, then they say, okay, yes, you have a good point. Okay, bring him, let him go. And then Gurudev sitting there on the bench, just smiling. Yeah, I know. So Gurudev was the master of kind of illusion. So anyway, in the material world, also humility, tolerance, giving honor to others. Gurudev said this is the only way to proceed. So with material persons, then to manage the domestic situations when somebody's like come into our house and not really invited and plonk themselves there. Also necessary to sort out by this way, humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, and it being clear. And if they want to stay in the house and become a devotee, there you are, some impetus for the friend to become a devotee. Anyway, Anandavardhan Prabhu, do your best. You already know the answer to this, that it is a matter of trying to filter out our association. And really our associates will be the devotees. And we may have acquaintances, but living directly with us, we want to really be with only devotees, so we can have happily our Hare Katha, our little programs, everything.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Kumkum
Didi, do you have a little advice for us? Where are you sitting, by the way? Are you sitting outside?
Outside. It's actually still, we're at the end of a heat wave here, so indoors was pretty hot. Perhaps David Priya will join us in a bit. She's taking care of Mahaprabhu right now. But you're reminding me of one example I love to think of, and it was many years ago in the 17th Street Temple, and there were many ladies there taking care of Sri Gauranga Sundar. And one of the ladies, she's Vaishnav, but she wanted, when she did the cooking, to turn on the radio. And others complained, no, we want to have a transcendental atmosphere. And she said, well, you know, I'm here for such a long time, and it makes me feel more energetic. And so I happened to be present when they were having this discussion. And one lady who is the daughter of Sanatani named Rajni, she said, she was there and she said, but I could listen to the radio anywhere. Where can I come to get Krishna consciousness? And so I think that has a lot to do with it, to protect that very sweet spiritual, it's a gift and it's not available anywhere else. So our gurus have provided us with these atmospheres which are purifying, which are enlivening, which are ultimately much, much better for our mind, even if it seems like we're attracted to something else. But to protect that so that people get that benefit, then that makes us much happier, actually. And it makes more people, more devotees happy. Because on the mundane plane, maybe somebody likes this kind of music, somebody else likes that kind of music, or it's the throwing the pebble into the stream and it just creates so many different circles, but they'll clash with each other. But what we do have in common, what makes everyone happy, because it makes the soul happy, so the mind is very pleased and enlivened. So I like to think about her example.
Very good example. Yes. And we can, it's a fact, we can do all sorts of mundane things anywhere. Listen to the news, listen to whatever, the gentle music in the background that's coming off the radio, whatever it may be. But the temple should be the protected place, the place where only we're going to get that refuge of Harikatha, Sadhu Sangha, and Shastra, Seva. Jai. Govinda, Govinda. Any contribution from anybody? What I was going to say, but now is already quarter to the hour. I had a little thing in mind. But what was in my mind to say today, also I can say now, that is about book distribution. You know, sometimes some questions come up, and it just, you know, questions come up, but sometimes questions come up again and again from completely different quarters. Others don't know that, oh, that was the topic, this was the topic. And just recently, for some reason, that this question of book distribution has been coming up. And I just would like to mention that we know from Srila Prabhupada's mission, how much he stressed distributing books. The books are the basis, to that extent, he's saying. And when we came to Guru Maharaj, we didn't have any books to distribute, but gradually some books came. But Guru Maharaj did express this point, that the books we should not just like try to push out to people, but we should try to, I mean, this is not a contradiction to Srila Prabhupada. Everybody is different, and we give him full respect to how Srila Prabhupada broadcast the teachings of Mahaprabhu. But Guru Maharaj was saying about the books, we can say of our mat, the books that are coming from him, that they shouldn't be pushed to people, but rather people will be given some faith in the book, that they'll have some respect for that book, and then they will take the book in exchange for some donation, in exchange for something which will be giving them sukriti. And it is not that, oh, Guru Maharaj and Gurudev did not like book distribution. They loved book distribution. And you can say evidence of it is ourselves for 4 years distributed books and magazines of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. And means in Malaysia. And Guru Maharaj sent me to Malaysia to help the devotee there, Dayada Gauranga, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he was running an ashram there with basically no assistance. And Srila Guru Maharaj personally sent me there. And he was happy that we are going day by day, distributing magazines, books, doing collection for the temple there in Malaysia. But, and so that number one, Guru Maharaj happy by that process, but the process not of just kind of making money in this way or pushing them out, but giving some appreciation for the book and passing those books out in this way. And we've seen in the more recent years, which I suppose now are becoming a little historic, but how Srila Gurudev appreciated in Calcutta, devotees going with collection and distribution of books. How in Calcutta, the biggest book fair in the world, actually by the number of attendees, was the Calcutta Book Fair. I don't know if it still is now, but we would have a stall there and Gurudev very happy. In Navadip, there was a book fair. And it was also in a cold time. I know we've been there standing at the book table in the very cold weather in January like that. And there we had a stall with, all decorated and like a little shop amongst all the others there. And Gurudev is happy that the books are going out because it's Guru Maharaj's message that is going out. So it is something that I wanted to say, that really we don't want to not distribute books. We want to distribute books and distribute smaller things for people to get some introduction to what is Krishna consciousness. The smaller books, we used to have the Sadhu Sangha magazine. We had some small things in Tamil, which was the language in Malaysia. And in Bengal, they've got the small Bengali books. They had the magazine of the temple, the Bengali Gaudiya Darshan. Why these are published? They're published to try to reach out to those who are sincere seekers and to give honest nourishment. There's so much nonsense, so-called nourishment, malnourishment or whatever it may be, or partial nourishment, weak nourishment out there. But the powerful nourishment is coming from Srila Prabhupada, from Guru Maharaj, from Gurudev, from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who they're representing. Not just representing, they're connecting us all with. So I just wanted to give a little encouragement that, really for us also, the basis of what we're doing is we can talk to somebody, we can, preach to them, we can try to let them see the sense of what it is that we represent. But the actual, if you like, the powerful and correct, clean message is coming from hearing the words of our masters, from catching their mood, their feel, their presentation, their distribution. And of course, the books are carefully presented. They're edited means so that various devotees have gone, they listened. Are these the words? Is this what Guru Maharaj is saying? Or is he saying something else? When we listen to tapes and we know it from listening and then discussing about what Gurudev or Guru Maharaj has said in something we've said, sometimes devotees really catch words wrongly and get quite a different message than what Guru Maharaj or Gurudev was giving. So the books everywhere, they're carefully presented. And especially Guru Maharaj would stress that point, that in speaking, we may make some mistake, this, that, and the other, but it is being said. But in the printed form, that printed form is going to stay. And so we must be careful what we say, that it is right, but we must be extra careful what goes into print. And Gurudev always stressed this point of what is going into print. It must be very carefully prepared. So we know that what is printed, then it is a very carefully prepared presentation of the words, mood, etc., the message of our masters. So my little message for today, somebody's got a dog barking. Maybe you can turn off the microphone if you're not.
The next door neighbor.
Okay, can you turn off your next door neighbor's microphone, please? Okay, thank you very much. So this was my little 10 cents, which I wanted to add today, that really the basic savor of our early life in Krishna consciousness, if you like to say ABC, what is savor, is to distribute as clearly as possible our Guru's teachings. And that comes by distributing some literature. Or, I know we're in a digital world, but somehow to distribute the intact message of our masters, and through publications, and whether, yes, whatever the digital way may be, but also physically. Physical has a special value too. Books are still wonderful. To hold a book, to have a book, to worship the book, and to read the book. Books are wonderful, even though the digital media is making everything available, which is wonderful. But we must also approach that in a proper way. And who we introduce the digital media to, we should try to give them some appreciation. And then they can understand, okay, what is coming from here? I should pay attention. It's not just another Swami who's saying something about, spiritual life and raising the Kundalini and, the airs of the body, when they all come into one, air stream, then you get a hurricane of consciousness or whatever it is. All these things, which there are thousands of books about thousands of swamis or thousands of, practitioners who've got their ideas. But we should prick up our ears when we've got some message which is coming from the upper quarter to us in a very clear way. And so the basis, when books are the basis presented by Srila Prabhupada, that conception, for us also, the books, the written word of our masters, it is the very basis that we need to try to be a distributor of that. So book distribution, so however it is done, but some kind of distribution, to continue that, not to ignore. Yesterday here, we went down with some devotees to the River Adda, if you want to look it up on the map, here in northern Italy. Very beautiful place. It's Saturday, lots of people were there. And naturally, people see you dressed a little different than them, and you got tilak, this, that, and the other. So just to have something small, and we talk, say something, and then just give them something small, which is like home comfort, which is always a good introduction in our family, home comfort and inner fulfillment. And in search of the original source, which we didn't have yesterday. That is such a small book. It's a booklet, but it's not intimidating to give to somebody. And even, if I read that book, that booklet, then I want to become a devotee. I mean, it's so sweet. It's Gurudev giving a talk in Morelia in Mexico. So he's addressing a public gathering. And so in particular, that little booklet, everybody feels, oh, this is very good. So we talk to people, we give them a little booklet, say, go home, read this, it's very good for you. You can contact us later if you wish. So this way, to give some encouragement that wherever you are, to still continue with some distribution, but distribution in a qualified way, not just to try to push onto people. And then, as we have seen, that when we push to people, they just often, many times end up in literally the garbage can or something. They just feel, oh, what have I got this? They cheated me out of some money, and then they put it in the garbage can. It is very difficult to witness that, but to give a little faith in the persons and then to give them the book, but to continue with printing the small booklets, to continue with distributing them in a dignified, I don't know whether the word dignified is the right word, but in a honorable way to distribute them. And we know from Guru Maharaj is happy. We know from Gurudev is happy. And we know from all of the disciples and the writings of Srila Prabhupada will be happy. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who described the printing press as the Brihat Mradanga. This way, all will be pleased that we continue and continue in a honorable way for that distribution. So I just thought that this little bit of a theme, because this question has come up like repeatedly during these last few days. And so we think, okay, it's in the ether. We should not only answer to one person or two person, but we should try to make that a bit more stressed in our back to basics. Hare Krishna. Any comment? Yes, come, Didi.
Speaking of the ether, is there any benefit? Right now, we're all so dependent on the ether distribution of Harikatha.
Mm-hmm.
And is there any superiority or inferiority about that association over books? I'll turn the sound off.
Everything has its place, but not to neglect the books. This is my point. And actually this digital ether, if you like, it is very valuable. It is keeping devotees in association, even when we're in the country. Here, now I'm in Italy. I think probably you all know I'm in Italy now. But here in Italy, when we're abroad, when we were over in Thailand, and we're doing the Zoom classes or talks, meet gatherings, Vaishnava gatherings over Zoom, then we're doing to Italy. When we came to Italy, then we stopped doing it to Italy because I'm in Italy. But then the devotees, they're all asking, oh, please don't stop, because we're living in Rome, we're in this place, we're living in this place. And then I also thought when it came, oh, we can stop it, but they are asking. So then you see, even in the countries physically where we are, then it is good to continue, and it is good to continue, as is happening in London, in California, and not only California. I mean, we know yesterday, for instance, Janardhan Maharaj is giving so, and here I say, oh, it says my internet is unstable. So Chintamani Didi, welcome. And I did mention just a bit before too, Chintamani, that quite by accident, it came up on Instagram when I was actually attending the morning program in Thailand. Then it finished, and then it just came up that your broadcast was going live. So I was very happy to join your live and lively personal broadcast. And actually, you see, Chintamani, what she presented, and maybe it's you. Did you save it? Is it on your Instagram? So Chintamani, C-H-I, Chintamani _yoga. You can listen to her talk this morning. What is our life is to share our experiences, and with reference to Srila Prabhupada, to Srila Guru Maharaj, to Srila Gurudev, in reference to our masters. And what we feel, then we share that. It's got like a living force behind it, rather than being just some information, some scientific description between Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and everything else. And so, here's a living example, if you like, Kumkum Didi, that we've got the digital media, we've got the ether, and devotees can share their feelings in this way. But again, we must be selective. The digital media means also that throughout the media, all sorts of people are going to tell you, things like, oh, it's not Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita, but it is the energy, and whatever it is, all these things. We've heard it so many times from so many challenges that come, because people are hearing these conceptions which have come from Vishnu himself instructing Shiva to mislead the people. So it's not unexpected that people are reading Shankaracharya's philosophy. They're hearing this over the internet. So when they hear it, they're going to start taking on Shankaracharya's view of things, which is impersonal. So we must be careful about the digital side, but we must be careful also about the physical side. As I say, there are thousands of books in the library to do with meditation, yoga, spirituality, religion, God, the different conceptions of the world. And in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, I was amazed. In a biggest bookshop I've been in that I know of, they had a whole floor dedicated to like philosophy, spirituality, etc. Chintamani is saying, I'm actually a raging Mayavadi and impersonalist, but thanks to the devotees, they helped me. Okay, there we are. We're all raging all sorts of things until we come to the devotees. So you have a good point. May the devotees be our shelter. But about book distribution and about presenting, the theme which we were on just a little bit before, presenting our teachers' words, then digital has its place, but the books have their place too. And I think especially when you meet somebody and you give them a small booklet like Home Comfort or In Search of the Original Source, after speaking with them, say, here, this is for you, read it. I think you'll find it very nourishing and it's by one of the great masters. Then this has a bit more value than just saying, oh, here's the website or something, or see this on the web, because we know on the web, I don't know, somehow the attention span is different than sitting down and reading. Though I have to say that for me, the tablet is a friend, and I've got the little tablet sitting right beside me, and tend to sit and read as a book. Beyond what you see. Now the tablet's talking to us. Anyway, it's Goswami Maharaj's words. And so, whether it's somehow or another to be able to sit down and read a book like we used to do it's a different animal. Can I say that? it's a different form of, it's a different attitude. So anyhow, not to neglect the published books, the actual physical books, and not to neglect the digital books, but we want to encourage, again, that devotees or the newcomers, ourselves, but also newcomers that we meet, we want to encourage them to read something from cover to cover. All right. So Chintamani Didi, have you been talking all this while, or did you go off and have your evening meal?
Something way more cool happened. We found a feral mouse and he actually lets me pick him up, and so I was obsessing about our new friend. That's what happened. So no, not yet, but we wanted to log on because thanks so much for encouraging us and our service, and you inspire me so much, Madhusudana Maharaj. Ki Jai!
Well, nothing happens by accident, and so somehow or another Krishna brought me to hear you this morning, and really, I'm genuinely giving you encouragement. Share your heart with the valuable things, truthful, beneficial, pleasing to hear, and you were doing that very, very beautifully this morning. And a word here from Jayadev Prabhu. He's mentioned, also I've received much inspiration from the audio books read by whoever reads them, audio books. So about the idea of, yes, okay, happily, Chintamani. So yes, the audio books, but I also feel that the audio book is for listening to after reading the physical book. I mean, this is my own feeling, because in a book, I know myself, I stop and I reread and I kind of take a little time to catch things in a book. When I'm in an audio book, then more or less I'm listening. I do rewind and I do play the same chapter, etc., again and again sometimes to try to catch it. But as we said a little bit with a phrase which might not be quite right, but it's a different animal. It's a different way of getting the Krishna Katha. But certainly with the audiobooks, everything, it's coming. We're using our hearing, our memory, all these things we're engaging. And those audiobooks, they started during the time of Guru Maharaj. When one of the servitors of Guru Maharaj, he said, I don't have time to read because I'm always serving. I mean, I'm always doing the physical things there. So can you record onto a cassette? So this is how the audiobooks of the mat began. And actually, some of them, they literally are from Guru Maharaj's time, from the 1980s. But audiobooks, yes, audiobooks, the digital books to read on the web, and the physical books, they all have their particular place. Hare Krishna. All right, we've been together for over an hour, happily. And is Jai Kumar Prabhu there with you, Charu? Can we hear a word or two from Jai Kumar Prabhu? Maybe not just now available. Okay, no problem at all. And Praneshwari Didi, a little word from you?
Maharaj, as always, thankful and happy to have your association. Before you joined us, I was talking to Charu Didi, and I told her that I wish more devotees would join, although we can see on Facebook how many people are checking the videos. There are more people checking the videos than joining live, but it's so important because you are an example that we can learn from. You're gentle and really are giving what you got from Gurudev and from Srila Guru Maharaj. So we are honored to have that. That's what I wanted to say.
Do you want to see my ungentle side? I'm going to cut you off. There you are, cutting off your audio. No, Praneshri herself cut off her audio. Didi, everything is, we're happy with a few devotees, we're happy with many devotees, but it's almost like we were saying to Anandavadan Prabhu just a little bit earlier, that whoever is with us, whoever is in the live talk, etc., then when we're all like faithful devotees, then we're chatting away very happily. But when we can have many devotees, but when something's always being analyzed and like looking for this, that, and the other, or not faithful in even our gurus or something, then this is kind of always dampening things. So we're happy to be small. But I've also noticed, and for instance, with Goswami Maharaj's talks, the live stream talks, which are, we can say that the best preaching of Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, and Srila Prabhupada is coming from Srila Bhakti Surya Goswami Maharaj. And I mean, he's very sharp, brilliant memory. I mean, he's got the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and Gurudev, really, and his strength is so able to reproduce accurately what he's heard even from a long time before. And the events that took place, not only with the gurus, but we were with him recently, like day by day by day, and hearing all sorts of topics of what they got up to when they were younger devotees doing their preaching in this place and that place, including Eastern Europe, behind the Iron Curtain in those days. And he's very able to present these things. So you can say, the best presentation anywhere you're going to find of what is Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, the Gaudiya mission through Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Saraswati Thakur to the present day is coming here. So we should think, everyone will listen to that. But the live broadcast will have sometimes very few, sometimes quite a number. But if you look at the figures for those who've watched later, you'll see it is substantially more. And of course, everybody can't relate to everybody, if you like, to one person. And Gurudev also acknowledged that. And we know from experience, you know, that these things take place. So somebody can relate to one person, not another person, and whatever it may be. But we're happy, as Guru Maharaj would say, birds of a feather flock together. So we're happy to know that there are devotees who are with us now, so we can be alive, not just talk to a camera or something. And that there are so many who actually see later, and we hope that they too will be happy simply to share, and they see us, see everything as we are. We're all just as we are. And we're living with devotees. So, you know, everybody sees us as we are. Gurudev lived with devotees. Guru Maharaj, okay, a little bit upstairs, but he was also 100% public. So we're living with the devotees happily, and we're happily sharing what they, headed by Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, have given to us, and we're sharing all along. And it is a matter of sharing. Where I am now is Italy. I wasn't with Gurudev in Italy, but the devotees here were, and you know, happily they tell us of this, that, and the other. And but again, coincidence or not, but just by coincidence, came across, clicked on a video of Gurudev here in Italy. So you know, we're all watching it together, and then we're seeing this video from Italy. And it's reviving their memories, and they're telling us other things. It's very much an interaction. It's not a university class with one person giving a lecture. Sharing wonderful pastimes, sharing the different ways to see the gem of Bhakti Yoga.
The image is frozen. I don't know if you can hear us. Maharaj, we cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. He got disconnected. You're back. But unmute yourself, Maharaj.
Oh dear. Anyway, maybe it's a sign that we've run over time, but. Oh, now I don't see any chat because my internet cut me off. Anyway, Chintamani had made a point about books, and people are very scared to touch the books. And it's, yeah, I'm a little amazed. I don't read the news, but we understand that the world is a little afraid. So if they don't want to touch books, now there's your answer, Kumkum. That yes, the digital media may be stronger in this time of COVID. All right, dear devotees, it is actually running along our time, and we've got our programs going on here. So please allow me to go, taking your permission that we can go. Dhanyavad, dhanyavad. Good to see you, as well as to get your little notes there before Jayadevu. And I appreciate your words of encouragement for our attempts at Seva too. We appreciate that. And to Govinda Nandini, always our well-wisher, and the devotee's well-wisher. She's there in the background looking after us. And to you all there in New Zealand, and to Shakira in South Africa, very happy to have you with us. And of course to Jai Kumar and young Tarun Krishna, who we didn't see today, but maybe he's being a good boy and studying his homework, right? All right, Praneshri, to all, and to all who may see the recorded message later on. Best wishes in remembrance of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj May they give their blessings to all the sincere seekers. It is the blessing department is upstairs. But good wishes between the devotees is very valuable. Praying for your good wishes. Jai Shila Gurudev Shila Bhakti Sunda Govinda Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shila Guru Maharaj Shila Bhakti Rokha Sridhar Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Prabhupada Shila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Guru Maga ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. And all assembled and worldwide devotees ki Jai. Nitya Gaura Premanandi. Hari.
Jai Shila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Wishing you successful Seva days. Please chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat and appreciation to you all.